Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me for another video. This is Marquita from At Home with Quita, and here I share tips on how to plan a balanced life. So if you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I can't believe I am filming the last video of 2024, which means it is time to start preparing for 2025. So let's get into it. You guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be organizing my week for the first week of January. Today is the 31st, which means we are ready to go and we got everything that we need to have a successful 2025, hopefully. In terms of our planning, I've got all the inserts in here that I need, so I just need to go ahead and start writing some things in to get myself mentally prepared and physically prepared. You know, that way I can make sure that I stay up on everything that I need to do. So I've got all of my supplies around me. So I'm going to be using the watercolor floral sticker book. I love this sticker book because it's got like color schemes in here already ready to go. So it makes the process easier. Of course, my trusty sticky notes, which I love. It's got a ton of different colors in there. We love a good highlighter situation around here. So I've got that. I've also got my other sticker book that's got a ton of different things in here. I've got my planner toolkit and of course my planner. All right. So y'all, we have a new layout. It is called the Weekly All-in-One version 2. There was a couple of things that I wanted to change from version 1 and I made those changes and created a version 2. And I think you're going to really like it. So let me show you how that looks. And that's what we're going to be using. I kept these from 2024 because I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not forgetting anything to transfer anything over. And then I also like to see kind of like how I planned and make sure that I'm kind of keeping that same scheme. So I kept all of this. So we'll see if we need to use that for the process. Y'all know I have our Moody Aesthetic hardcover, which is so pretty, by the way. We added a bunch of new covers to the shop. We're steadily adding new things. And then we're going to bring some old things back out that maybe you may have forgotten about, because we have a ton. We have maybe 3,000 items in our shop. We have a lot of stuff in there. And I feel like I don't constantly need to always create new things. I just need to remind you guys of the oldies but goodies. So I'm going to be doing that as well. All right. So nothing has changed about this planner besides now we got 2025 inserts. And I'll show you what I'm using for my business and social media, which hasn't changed. But if you're new here, I'll show you that. I also have my at a glance. So I need to come in here and I need to write in some things in terms of what I know we already have planned for the year. And then this is the monthly for the vertical line 2. And this is the weekly. I'm hoping you can see that. Let me zoom you in. Boom. So I changed a couple of things. I added a grid over here. I'm about a grid situation right now. I don't know. I'm in my grid era. I also added this to clean wording. I was using this as my cleaning section. So I just put Monday through Sunday, daily, weekly, whereas before I had the check boxes. If you remember, again, we still have that layout available. If you like that layout, go for that one. I also darkened the lines around the boxes here. So that way they kind of are differentiated. You could kind of see a difference in the lines you write on versus the boxes. You know, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Same thing on this side, so you can kind of see the variation between the two. I changed this section to do, and you have some circles here. So if you have things that don't fall on a particular day, but you know you need to get it done during the week, you can write that here. I also kept my habit tracker section because I'm all about habits, and I added the grid as opposed to the boxes. So I like how that looks and how it flows across the page. I also have a top 3 focus. So you can have your top 3 now. And then I added a financial section here so you can write in any bills you have during the week, or you can write them in the week, but I like to see them here. And then you can write the date that they're due. Also, what's changed here, and I just made these changes based on how I was using the vertical or the weekly all-in-one layout version 1. So because that's how I was using it, I was covering the sections up. It didn't make sense. So I decided to kind of revamp things. So here's the meal planning section, Monday through Sunday. We also have a new wellness section here where it says exercise, sleep, water. You have a mood tracker where you can kind of tick mark, you know, how you're feeling from bad, normal, good. And then productivity, you have 0%, 50%, 100%. You could do the same thing, kind of tick mark where you fall. And then lastly, a little section here for gratitude. So I think this is going to work out so well. I'm really excited to use it. So that's what we're going to be planning in today. Work and social has not changed. I'm still using the vertical line layout version 2. I'm in my version 2 area, y'all. I'll be making changes, but I know that you guys like the version 1 of certain things. And I also know we have a ton of stuff printed, and I would be wasting so much stuff by just eliminating that version 1 altogether. So this is what I'm going to continue to use for my business and social media planner. I'm also going to be popping in my task list and my, I'm going to show you the other page that I'm going to be popping in during the week to track Addison's school stuff. And I'm going to be doing a whole video coming soon, probably, because Addison is starting homeschool again. So as you guys know, my son pretty much homeschooled his whole schooling career, and now Addison, she did the year, you know, when COVID happened, she had to do it, and we tried to continue it, and it was just too much for us with the shop. Not sure how I really feel about it. I feel good about it in terms of that's the best thing that I think you can do for your child, if you can do it, if you have the patience, if you have the time, if you have the flexibility. But it also comes with a lot of challenges. So I'm not looking forward to the challenges, okay? But we're gonna go all in. And so I'm going to probably pull out my trusty homeschool planner, which I do have a full homeschool planner that's already ready to go. I just need to change the monthlies and some, you know, purge some things and make a couple of changes, but otherwise it is ready to go. And so that's what I'll be using. But for now, we're going to be just using this. This is new to our shop. We have so many new inserts, you guys. So I'm going to write in, this is a 31-day kind of like tracker or calendar. There's a little calendar here. There's a place for important dates. So I'm going to try to figure out how I'm going to use this. And so that way I just have a little sheet that's popped in the week so I can see what's going on with her homeschooling. I don't need a whole section for that in this planner, but eventually I will pull out the other full homeschool planner to see how that may work for me. It may work better, but we want to test this out first. All right, so let's just get into it. You guys know how I roll. I like to decorate the pages, and then I'll come back and we'll talk through some things, but I do first need to go high level. So I need to pull out my at a glance pages, and I need to write some high level stuff so that way I can kind of have a starting point. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave it in. Usually I like to pull it out. So I'm going to look on my phone and I'm going to see what I have written in terms of what we have on the calendar already. I do a hybrid of paper planning and phone planning or digital planning. There's a lot of different things I use to stay productive. So I'm going to go and I'm going to see what we already have scheduled and write that in here. All right, so let's just kind of look. And typically it's going to be on the weekend when something's occurring. This new Apple calendar is completely throwing me off. So there's that. So on this, we don't start tennis back again until the 9th of January. So I definitely want to write that in. If you guys don't know, I love tennis. It's my thing. I'm on 2 different teams, a Saturday team and a Thursday team. So Thursdays, well, we toggle back and forth between USTA and Alta. During the colder months is USTA, and during the other months it's Alta. So you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but basically I'm on 2 teams, a Thursday team and a Saturday team. And so I need to write in that. So I just write USTA. Okay, and I can go ahead and write that in. And typically, I know I'm going to be playing on the 9th and the 11th, but you don't always play every single week. But I am undefeated. Let me just say that. Okay, I've played 4 matches and won them all. With my partner, of course, not just me. Okay, and then I also have practice days, which are Tuesday. So practice. And I think for now, unless it's like an outing or something like that, I'm not going to come in January and write in all of my recurring stuff. I usually don't write recurring things here. Sometimes I do. It just depends on how I feel. So maybe for this month of January, I'll write in all of my recurring things, and then I'll write in all of my like appointments and outings and things like that. So let's see what we have going on the 4th. I feel like there is something going on the 4th, but Let me accept that invite. For some reason I can't accept it. All right, I like this view better because I can just scroll down. All right, so there is something happening on the 4th, which is this Saturday. A friend is having a little party. So write that in at 3:30. Nothing. Yeah, there is something on Sunday too. Oh my gosh, is there something on Sunday? Okay, let me look. There's 2 things. I think a friend is having an anniversary party. And then okay, that's January 12th. Okay. And then so then I can make the other appointment, which I thought I couldn't make. January 5th, yeah. At 4 p.m. Okay, so there's that. So let me go back to my calendar view. So you guys, this is the first place I put things. Oh, y'all, I'm supposed to have jury duty. Oh, snap. Next week, Monday. Oh my gosh. I had to put it off because we were going to Disney and they let me push it. And so apparently it's on the 6th. So I need to find the paper. And I've done it one other time in my life. My husband's never done it, which is crazy. Okay. Wednesday. Again, I'm not putting in my recurring stuff. Thursday, Friday. Okay. All right. And my birthday is on the 8th. I don't want to have a birthday. I don't want to age anymore. Can I stop aging, please? Well, I guess that will mean something else. We don't want that either. But y'all, my goodness. I feel like I look good. I feel good. I'm losing weight, but I just don't want to age. I don't know. I really need to have the proper thinking on that because that means wisdom is coming with that age, hopefully. So the 15th, we're having lunch with some friends. All right. And then we have our circuit assembly on the 18th. And then I have a talk on the 22nd. Let me make sure that's right. Oh, they changed the look of it. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad I came in here. And then CO visit February 28th. Sometimes I just like taking these pages out, y'all. It's just easier to write. The 18th to the 23rd. And we're going to the cabins in February. But we'll get to February. I'm just in this app, so I wanted to make sure that I looking at, you know, those types of things as well. Yep, January 22nd. And the crazy thing is that I thought it was next week. So I'm glad I looked. All right, so no other events that I can tell just yet. For JW, and then for January that's it. Okay, January 25th, I'm hanging out with my brother and sister-in-law. So as you can see, January is kind of busy. I think that's it for January. And then I know there's something in February, but other than that, I don't believe we have anything else scheduled that I really need to take note of. Oh, I'm going to marry Jay Blige on the 3rd with my friend. That's going to be fun. And then I know that we have that cabin trip thought I put on my calendar. Okay. Okay. Okay, February 9th, because we're going the week of Super Bowl. So February, so we must be going this Thursday, the 6th. All right, just texted my friend, y'all. Okay, I believe it's the 6th through the 10th, though. It's crazy. She gonna be like, now, as much as we've been hyping this trip up, you got the nerve to ask me about the date? Okay. And I don't think there's anything else happening in February just yet. And this is the first place I will put it. I'm just skimming through just to see. Trying to think if there's anything else that I know. Okay, I think that's it for my at a glance. Yeah, y'all, January is crazy busy. Crazy busy. Okay, so that's where it starts for me. So at least I know what's going on in January. And then, of course, we'll start to fill in the other stuff as it becomes available or known. All right, so now we could take that information and then we can come to January and we can start writing in our monthly. So I'm going to forward through this part just because this takes a long time. And I'm going to come back and I'll show you how it looks. First thing I have to do is date it. All of our inserts are undated. I'm working possibly on a dated all-in-one full year planner that's going to be coiled. So comment below, let me know, is that something that you want to see? Okay. All right. So let's get into this. And then again, I'll come back and show you how it turned out. All right, you guys, I am done decorating everything. As you can see, I added stickers from the floral sticker book, and I also added some highlighter marks here just in various places. I think it serves as decor, and it also helps you highlight certain things. I like different elements in my planner spread, but I kept it pretty simple today. And this was gonna tell me how much I really love this spread with the change that I made. So let me show you how it used to look. The layout of it is the same. Again, I only changed certain parts. So let me move this so you can see. Okay, so as you can see, let me pull the pages out. You'll be able to see it better. All right, so at the top here, I just want you to be able to see the difference. Again, both are available. So if you like this version here, the version 1 is still available. Okay, so as you can see from the top, this section here now says focus and financial, because that's what I was using this section for my bills. So there's no longer, I think that said, I can't remember what that said, you guys. I probably should know what that says. It said important. So it doesn't say important anymore. That's what it says, okay? Move the habit tracker over just a little bit. No longer has these boxes. Now it has the grid. I think it's cleaner. And then I had space here for a to-do list, which I love because there's some things that don't fall within the week. And I can pull from my inbox and I can put it here on my to-do list. That way I can get it done, okay? Can't stay on my to-do list forever. All right, and this section here now says to clean where it said tasks. And I used it for my cleaning schedule. No longer has the boxes. Very simple and clean. Okay, of course you could repurpose it if you want by just whiting out the top part there. I kept this section for theocratic or ministry. It's a blank section for you to be able to use however you wish. That's just how I use mine. All right, everything stayed the same in terms of the boxes here. I did make them a little bit darker. As I told you before, I'm not sure if you can really tell the difference here on camera. I also removed this where it said weekly. No longer says that. You don't need it to say that, but this version will say that. Okay, still have the Monday through Sunday. So let me see how I can finagle this so you can see. And what I also did in this section is that I used to write the dates of the week here in this little open space, but I've made the boxes larger. So now you can put a date dot or you can write the date right above the day of the week. So you don't have to kind of squeeze it in here. There's actually a spot for that. I just love this. It was really well thought out, and that's why sometimes I need to use a planner layout for a little bit of time just to kind of see how I use it. And I typically will create a layout based on how I use it. I do take some feedback from you guys, and then I make those changes, and I try to keep the OG version just for those who really still love that layout. So this was very intentional, okay? Because I love an all-in-one layout. I love to be able to just write everything I need to do all in one spot, from my meals to my habits to my to-do list to my cleaning schedule, everything all in one. So when it comes to creating that quote planner I mentioned earlier, it's probably going to be based off of this layout, because I just love it so much. You could also use this section here for a grocery list. So of course you're able to do your meals here. And then if you want to write in grocery list, you can split it in half and make it 2 sections. It's up to you. But I wanted to have an open space for you to be able to use however you want. Again, as you can see, this section was the same, but it was just lined. All right. And I love a good grid. I don't know. Grid is my thing right now. Okay, so with the exception of just changing the lines and extending this part of the open box here, or the box here for your dates, the only changes is that I removed the calendar. I feel like I really didn't need it. I wasn't using it. I was just forcing myself to use it. And we have hash sheets that you can pop in if you need like another little calendar space. So I removed that. The top 3 is now focus here at the top. Okay, so you still do have a spot for top 3. And then I removed this little box here, which said checklist. I felt like there was a lot of checklists. It was a lot of, just different lists and things that were kind of saying the same thing. So it's hard to know how to use those when that's the case. So I wanted to be very intentional with what I titled each section. So I used this for menu. As you can see, it's been relocated up here to say meals. You can white that out if you don't want it to say that. If you don't want to use it like that, it's up to you. And then I used to have or put a word of the week here at the bottom. If I still want to do that, I can split off the gratitude box here and put a word of the week here, but there's a gratitude box now. There's also a spot for your mood and your productivity, just so you can see how productive you were during the week with what you wrote in. Okay, so pretty much the same here on the side, with the exception of removing the calendar here and relocating the top 3, moving the menu up, and then now there's a gratitude section at the bottom. So this is the difference between the two, just so you can see. So here is the difference between that page. Again, it's pretty much the same in terms of the flow of everything. As you can see, this was down a little bit further. Now it's widened a little bit more up because of this extension of the box there. So I love that. I feel like it just makes more sense. And then here is the other page here. Pretty much the same thing, just a few changes. And I feel like the changes that I made are going to be so much more helpful to me to make sure that I'm as productive as I can be. So hopefully you guys feel the same way. Again, both are available. If you're like, why did she change that? I used to use that box as its intended purpose, or I just liked it there, or just whatever the case may be for you, it's still in the shop. So you'll see a weekly all-in-one layout, and then you'll see a weekly all-in-one version 2. This is the version 2. All right, so that's how that turned out. So I am all planned up for my monthly for January, my at a glance for January. I'll be popping in some other dates here as they become available to me or become known to me. And so I have the monthly. I didn't highlight anything. I didn't color code anything. I just kept it very basic, very simple. I just wrote in my plans. And that's what I'm all about right now. Sometimes I like to add some color, sometimes I don't. And that's why I love our inserts too, because they're just minimal. You can do whatever with them because it's just a blank space. And I love it. So this is kind of how it looks with nothing on it, just in case you're interested in that. Very clean, very simple. And I'll show you the version 1. Still very clean and very simple, just a little bit different. Okay, just a little bit different, right? So change is good. And in this case, I really needed that little extra change to really get me going and really to make sure that I'm using the planner to its full. All right, I'm going to keep this task list in here. It reminds me of certain things like people to check in on, although I do have it on my schedule as well. Anniversaries, outing ideas, extracurriculum ideas, things like that. So I just keep this in here and I move it from week to week. And then my ruler here, and then I'm going to have to sit down and really figure out how I want to use this and incorporate it into our homeschool for the first month of January until I get my bearings. I feel like I remember with my son how it was, and I know how difficult it's going to be, you know, or how many challenges it's going to be. Let me say it like that. Just because of my work schedule and how much I have going on, I want to make sure I dedicate her the full time that she requires and that she deserves. And she is a self-starter, which is going to be great for me, whereas my son wasn't so much, but I still know that it takes a lot of time and effort. So I want to see if this method is going to work. So I give it a good go, test it out, see how it's going to work for me. And if it doesn't, I'll pull out my homeschool planner, and that's what we'll use for the upcoming year. So stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll do a full video sharing with you guys how I plan on using this insert. Again, remember to check our shop. We have a ton of new inserts. Like, I've been on an insert creating spree, as you can see, because I'm just so inspired right now, and I have to capitalize on those moments when I'm inspired. So I just start creating like a mad woman. Okay, so that's it for this video. Again, my monthly is done, and then I have the first week of January done on this new layout. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you stopping by my channel. Stay tuned for more content in 2025. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you want to see from this channel. Sometimes I'm at a loss with what to do next, you know, so let me know what you want to see, and I'll add that to the list of video ideas. So I appreciate you again for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed this video so much so that you'll give me a thumbs up. Hopefully you will consider subscribing if you're new here. And as always, come on back and join us for another video, in which case I'll see you then.